It's more than enough in a week, even though we've seen that we've been making that per day. So with the long-term bias to the downside, that's what we've been selling it for a reason over here. I'm looking for a price movement to possibly go even down to 114.5. But I don't fully expect to just continue dropping forever. So I'm actually right now, I have more of an inclination that this could possibly maybe drop a little bit, give us a nice little double tap to the bottom, and then possibly do a nice little move back to the upside. Once it does that, maybe the next week we'll see a nice little movement again, maybe tap up over here in this little zone, and then continue the move down. But again, my long-term bias is to the downside, so for all I know, this thing could do its move right now, and it could just continue going down into the zones that we're looking at, and we know if it has to go through this entire zone, that it's probably going to do it with force, which NFP can definitely provide. I'm in a buy position on the USDJPY, a small buy position. As many of you know, I trade usually nice small positions at the end of the week because we've already collected between 300 to 500 to 800 pips per night. Everything is profit at this point, so I don't need to go take a huge position and risk everything that we've already collected throughout the week. I don't need to do that. This is just the extra cherry on top. If it works out, perfect. If it doesn't, I don't care. I'm going to have a good breakfast after, and then I'm going to just keep my day going. So I'm already in this position. We have 6 minutes. You may have a different bias than me. You may think differently. You may think, Eddie, that's just a complete BS bias. Then keep to your bias. Don't let what I say or what anybody else say change what you're thinking just because I said it or anybody else said it. If it makes sense to you, then perfect. Get into your positions, be prepared right now, and again, just be accepting of the fact that as much as we've been very profitable in a lot of these kind of scenarios, just because we're collecting literally from the very top to the very bottom doesn't mean that this play is going to be 100% exactly as speculated. I'm never going to tell you that I know what the market's going to do, only that I understand the market and it's telling me something right now, and it may be different for what it's telling you. I'm just going to quickly look at the AUD/USD. AUD/USD, again, remember we were looking at, since down here, where was price going to play in the next 2 weeks? We had a nice finish to the last week right around here. And if it did finish above this whole zone, we were looking to continue the bullish rally. What did it do? It came down to our little zone, and then it continued to the upside. Right now, I feel that it's in a good position where it has gone up enough. I am still somewhat midterm, long-term bullish on this pair, and this could possibly just continue going up. It could possibly go back up to the 7.3 area with NFP, but I have more of an inclination that this could possibly just give us a kind of like a little crossover right now. Maybe it comes up, gives us a nice little tap to the upside, maybe a new high, causes all the retail traders to buy it, and you could possibly make some nice money to the upside. I don't know, this is a potential, what, 50 pip play, let's say. But I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing go up, double tap, cause everyone to buy it, and then come right back down. Maybe even in the same candle. That's what NFP likes to do. We saw it with monetary policy on the JPY. We've seen this, we've been trading this pair since before the games, like when literally we got in right here on the buy, literally at the lowest of the low, and we've been basically just riding this entire trade. Okay? So now, again, just like I stated before, this is just simply my opinion. I am confident about my opinion. I don't care what anybody or Goldman Sachs or anybody has to say. Matter of fact, when they say something that it's opposite of mine, I just feel like that's an extra confirmation for my bias. Just like I said, it's my opinion. This thing could do exactly as I just kind of, shared with you all. And maybe it just does the exact opposite. Maybe from right here, literally NFP hits in 2 minutes and a half, and it drops down 7 million pips. I don't know if it's going to do that. All I know is I'm looking for high probable scenarios. I take high probable scenarios every single week and every day. But with that mentality, I have to know that I could be 100% wrong, in which case I have my risk management in place, in which case I know what I'm looking for. We already see price going up a little bit. Again, depending on whatever bias you have, please position yourself now. Don't get in right at 8:30. Don't do it. You're going to get a horrible entry. If price, let's say, does spike up, maybe it comes right back up to our trend line. There's a nice spike up. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. If it does do that, and maybe it's still chilling here at 8:32, then possibly take a trade. But if it does it right away and it's over here in 3 seconds, you put sell because maybe you think it's going to go down, as I mentioned, you're going to get an entry over here. You're not going to get the entry over here. You're going to get it somewhere around here. But if you wait a couple minutes and it's still in that zone, the spread is probably going to not be so wide, and then we'll get some nice entry points there. My drawings got all deleted, but let's just see what happens. We have the news coming out in 7 seconds, everyone. So please just be prepared and have fun. I'm going to be looking at my broker right now. There you go. Look at that AUD. Immediate upside movement. JPY doing a downside tap right now. Could just keep going and going. Maybe right now it does the downside tap which we're looking for, and now it keeps going up. Let's see what happens. Immediate spike on the AUD to the upside. Immediate spike to the downside. Kind of doing what we were looking for up till now. Let's see what it keeps doing in the next. From now, everyone, you have to see how this reacts for the rest of the day, honestly, okay? My USD JPY positions are in profit. Whether or not, and I'm just going to repeat this one more time, whether or not you make money out of this, everyone, please just take it, if anything, as a lesson in being able to see what the market is doing live, to see what it's doing in a big event like today. Anybody who, literally right now, what were we looking for? We were looking for the downside tap. What did it do? It went down to the bottom. It tapped it. This was all your entry zone right here. Everybody should be in the money right now. There's no reason not to be in the money. And it's going up a little bit. We still have to see how it acts, though. It's just, this is the first minute. Look at that upside movement, and then it keeps dropping. Right now, I would say it's pretty much going in the direction that we were basically looking for on each. It first went up on the AUD USD, which we were looking for. Maybe it didn't go all the way up to the trend line. Still went up, and now it's going down. Over here, we were looking for the tap to the downside, and now it's going up. Again, this is just the first few seconds, first 90 seconds or whatever. We have to see how it continues to act. But literally, even on that JPY, you could have already, I know, Zach, you love to scalp these kind of things. You could have already scalped a nice, how many pips here? Assuming you got in at the bottom, right? Nice little 75 pips right there. You were looking for that downside tap. It happened. You could have just bought it, got in 75 pips and gotten out. Goes back down, you get back in another 75 pips. I'm gonna say that was a pretty spot on so far. So let's see how it keeps reacting, everyone. If you're taking any other trades, let me know. Post it up in the chat. If you got some nice positions going on right now. I'm only literally looking at these two. I don't need to look at anything else. We're already collecting so many pips per day that we only look at two. I only virtually look at two charts. But we have looked at other pairs, obviously. This is a nice little reaction so far. To me, this is exactly what we were looking for. And here's one more thing, everyone, because I saw so many. I had a few people again outside the community message me about this. Like this candle, the one that literally we were looking for upside movement to continue happening, and it happened with monetary policy. I had a few people tell me, Eddie, like, what just happened in the market? This candle is drastic. This candle is out of the ordinary. And how many pips did it move in this one candle? It moved in total around, let's just say around 300 pips, 290 pips in this one candle. If you have looked at monetary policy before, if you've traded it like we have, we're not scared for anybody. And here's another thing. If you ever have anybody tell you, don't trade the news, don't trade bank holidays, don't trade Martin Luther King Day, don't trade Christmas, don't trade New Year's, because it's erratic and because it's not a good day to trade, all that means is that person doesn't understand the market environment. That's all it means. Because you can trade anything. If you have the knowledge of how it normally works, you can trade anything. So if anybody gives you that advice, just know it's because they don't know how to trade it. When you see something like this, and if you think this is drastic, I'm just going to tell you that this is a completely normal candle to see when you have monetary policy happen. It's just the same thing when we over here. It's about how many pips for the rest of the day. It did a total movement of about 250 pips. Just off of monetary policy, it did about 158 pips. It's normal to see these kind of candles. So you have to be just aware of the fact monetary policy is about to come out. I can probably expect 150 to 300 pip moves right off the bat. Nothing drastic about that. It's a normal reaction to this kind of event. Okay? There you go. The double tap happened again. I know, Zach. I know you love to take these kind of scalps just in and out, in and out. That's another opportunity right there in my eyes. You could have already collected 75 pips, came back down. You could have bought it again, and look at where you are again. I'm not going to count it as that's already potentially over 100 pips that you could have made here, but it is over 100 pips you could have made just on the USDJPY. It's a great, I love this. It's a great reaction in my opinion. It could still go either way for the remaining hours of the day. I'm just going to leave my trades, see what happens. I don't really have a rush to get in and out of these trades. That's not really my style, but I know there's a few of us who like to scalp. And hopefully you already got some nice pips. If you did, let me know. Hopefully you took some out of the money contracts when the price went down. Boom, you got in. And maybe by the end of the day, you're already how many pips? Out of the monies that cost you $5, you will get in expiration, the strike price will be somewhere around here. This is already how many pips? 75, right? Usually the $5 ones are 50. 60 above or 70, I don't know. But hopefully you got some nice entries there. Could have scalped this amazing so far. I love these events, everyone. I don't know what there's to fear. It's an opportunity. If you know what's going on, let me rephrase that. If you have a strong idea based on your knowledge and based on what you've already been able to experience, there's no need to be afraid. We've traded every single big event in the last year, I think. Why would you be scared of the market giving you the opportunity to capitalize, period? Why would you be scared of that? You're only scared if you don't understand it. And if you don't understand it, just go and study. Go look at the past events. Go understand what happened before. Don't let somebody else tell you you can't trade this just because they don't know what they're doing with this, all right? You're smarter than that.
Yeah, it's fun, man, especially in these events. And that's just the
Bro, it
thing,
is.
like the reactions that you're gonna get. We still haven't been able to actually break through that zone we were looking at on the USD JPY either. So I am liking that.
To me, it was just a perfect time to get everyone to continue to sell it, go down to our zone, give us that tap that we're looking for, and then just maybe finish off the day somewhere maybe around here. Who knows? It's going higher. You could more money right there. Yeah, everybody, please let me know if you do, if you did, like it. We were looking for the upside movement on AUD and then go down. It did that. We were looking for the downside movement on the UJ and then go up, and it's doing exactly that. So hopefully you made money, and I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your feedback. Let us know what trades you took. This is just a normal day in the market over here, so